Or Kelsey went to bed.
Greetings. So you weren't?
It's still giving me there.
Were you present for me explaining my Skyrim stuff that I've done?
The how you like uploaded but didn't publish like 100 videos of it, right?
Yeah. So I did like a super modded playthrough and got bored of it because I wanted achievements, and then went through and did a vanilla playthrough and didn't get very far because I always record way more than I can actually upload.
Uh,
Well, back when I had shitty internet, I would do like 5 episodes in a session, which would be like 5 hours long, and then turn around and forget to upload them. And then the very next day, I'd be like, well, I want to keep playing, but I forgot to upload. So I'd have tons and tons of videos. And then I would slowly work my way through them. And like, I'm not allowed to play until I get them all done. And that was when I started doing my what I call the as of yesterday initiative. All right, start a new game. Basically, that like anytime I record something, I have to set it to upload that night and publish it the next day. The
so you
only
don't have
issue is
like
that,
too much footage.
yeah, I still have some unpublished videos from a series that I'm not sure if I want to actually upload. For a while, I was doing some emulated games on a Game Boy emulator,
I think the
and
people will be into that.
I actually did 55 episodes of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and then a really interesting niche group that I was in for a while. A lot of people seemed to enjoy me playing like text based adventure games because I was apparently pretty decent at going and reading through them and then like deliberating on decisions and stuff like that. And apparently, like the way that I would do those, people seemed to enjoy. Like they would listen to them like podcasts, and that actually made me really happy. But those are really hard to just sit down and do because I have to be in a specific mood for them. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. Hey, Hadvar.
Well, if people enjoy listening to your voicemail, you could probably be on one of those creepy pasta channels or like read out stories and stuff.
I have a book that is fully published and available on Amazon, and I thought about just uploading myself recording at least the first chapter of it and see if it ends up being received by anybody at all, and
What's
if
the book?
so, whether or not well. Huh?
What's the book called?
It is called To the Victor. It is the first book in the Chronicles of Sin series. It's technically by an author called Cedric Allen. That's my pen name.
Uh, to the Victor filter. Um, what was your author's name again?
Cedric Allen.
How do you spell Cedric?
Cedric, and Allen has two L's and an E.
All right.
Yeah, I forget. If you search up one but not the other, it'll show up.
Yeah, I see it.
I think it's $10.
Yeah. Or 4 for Kindle.
Yeah, and it asked me to like set up a thing that was like, if somebody buys the physical version, do you want to give them a discount on the digital? And I was like, oh fuck yeah. Unfortunately, I can't offer it for free because Amazon won't let me do that. So it was like, yeah, if they have it, I think it's like $1 more to have the digital on top of the physical. I have 40 copies of them currently being shipped to me. I got the confirmation on them yesterday after I got home from work, so they should be here like Tuesday of next week. Juniper berries mixed in. Funny, when I was a boy, Imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so safe.
Whenever I go back and play Skyrim, I always have the start a new life mod on. I can't deal with that cutscene.
Yeah, I'm doing it without mods just because I want the achievements. I haven't collected them on the enhanced edition yet.
I have like 300 hours and no achievements. Like I'm addicted to Skyrim mods. It's an issue.
I want to say I have a few of them. I've got 46 that are locked, so I've gotten like a bunch of random ones and probably a couple for the main storyline. I've never completed the main story on the enhanced edition. I've actually only ever completed the main story once. I think of all of the storylines, the only one that I've completed more than once was the companions.
See, I really like doing the fuck. What was it? Let me think.
Dark Brotherhood? One of the DLCs?
Dawnguard. I really like doing the Dawnguard.
Is how we're gonna glitch out? I love when Bethesda games glitch out. They're hilarious.
I remember back on the 360, like the characters' faces were like, the facial expressions were, how do I like explain this? They were, I can't even explain it without like, I can't even explain it, period. But they were like really fucking weird. Like their face was kind of like imploding in on itself, like, and their lips extended like super far every time they talked. It's kind of scary, not gonna lie.
What should I play as? I think I'm gonna go mage.
Who are you?
Mage is
Either
kind of shit in
mage
this, but
or nice not two-handed. I go for either dual wield or mage. But mage is kind of shit to start with, since you don't have like infinite magicka.
I'm just gonna go with a preset. It's a female, but I'm gonna name her Boyo.
Boyo. I have so many saves that are like 5 levels in because I just got distracted, started a new one, got back into playing something else.
Forget the list. She goes to the block.
And the description of your book sounds kind of interesting. If I ever get a chance, I'll pick up a copy.
My dad read through it like 5 or 6 times. He read through an older version that didn't have edits in, but that like the one that's up right now is the full finished version. It's been edited by myself like 7 times, and then I handed it off to another 2 novice editors.
And did they find anything with it?
Oh, they found a lot with it, and I fixed it. To be fair, though, they did not find nearly as much wrong with that. Like, there was a couple things here and there with it. My other one that I finished the rough draft of a couple months ago, I got back, was just crap, like, all over the place. Which makes sense, because, I mean, I hadn't edited. Like, I finished the rough draft, and I handed it off right away. Versus that one, I finished it, rewrote the ending, went through and polished it, went back, added more chapters, edited it again, and then finally gave it out to somebody. So it was quite the task. There was like 7 different iterations of that one, and the one that I just finished has is only on its 2nd iteration.
So it says Chronicles of Sin, Book 1. Are you gonna publish another one?
Yes.
I'm guessing that's a work in progress, or something you're gonna get to in the future?
I just started writing the first chapter of it, actually. I had written it before, realized that it was a little bit too info dumpy, so now I'm restructuring at least the opening chapter to be a little bit smoother on the exposition and stuff like that. A lot more of a show, not tell. Which I don't necessarily subscribe to hard set rules like that, but it ends up working out a lot better, specifically for the Chronicles of Sin. In the first chapter, rather than like talking about any of the gods or stuff like that, I leave it very, very vague, and there's only like a few of them that she mentions because they happen to be the ones that they pray to.
So you have to like get a bit of a easiest to match like the rest of the gospel.
Sorry, you're cutting out like really quiet. I gotta turn down my volume for Skyrim.
All right.
Okay. What
So
was
you
your
said
question?
like like you there's a lot of gods in there, and you said it's very vague, and you only mentioned a few that are like worshipped at the time.
By her specifically, I think by the end of the book I've mentioned 5 or 6.
And how many are there?
18?
So for
Lay
at
down.
the end of the book, you like it's really just what the reader has to think about what the other gods are.
Yeah, I didn't get too explicit in it because it's the introductory book. I didn't want to have like a massive. Don't my controller batteries die.
You just cut out for me.
There you go. You got a diaper. I need batteries. Hang on, Willow. All right, we're connected. Hello? You there? Hello?
There you are.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, my controller died.
It's good.
Okay, what were we talking about? The gods? You had a question?
I think you were explaining something, and then your controller died.
Something about interpretation of the gods.
Yes.
Oh, it's the introductory book. So, if it doesn't pertain directly to her story, I didn't include it specifically because there's too much information about the world in general. Like, I can't go talking about every plant that I've added or animal that I've created and like rules and backstory and all sorts of other stuff. The reason that I made her book was because I had a specific story that I wanted to tell that was a massive epic. Originally was the outline for what I wanted to do with the story was over 80 pages long, and then I started writing it out when I was in high school, and the first draft that I had was just over 200 document pages, and then I decided that like that was like basically this person goes here, they say this. They're like there was hardly any dialogue except for stuff that I wanted to be a specific way, and I knew that right away. And I rewrote it again so that way it was 3 chapters per document, and I was over 80 pages for all of them. So I realized that having that as my very first thing that I published was not going to work for me. So I took one of the characters who is in the like main series for like the last few chapters and wrote their entire backstory, which is what hers is. So it's pretty much entirely inclusive on like all of the stuff that you would have to know about her as a character. She's not a huge player in the final books. I had to split it up.
How many books do you think there's gonna be?
In the Chronicles of Sin, I have at least a dozen planned, that including the like major, what I call the trilogy, like the primary story that I had started with and got way too big. Um, there's probably about a dozen of them that I figured out so far, but there's not really a whole lot of reason for the series to ever end. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't share about the world as well.
So you leave a lot of thought to the reader.
Yeah.
See, I like that, but not so much to where I'm like completely lost. Like I want to be able to think about it after I read it. Like, what about that, or what about this? But I don't want the whole thing to be like I could make up the entire story in my head.
Oh no, the book is like perfectly succinct in its own little thing. Like, they have that. They mention a few of the gods, and there's obviously more, but they don't dwell on any of that, and the information for that it does not matter for the story.
So I texted my gram. She said she'll talk about ordering it for me tomorrow. I'm very sure she's gonna get it, so probably gonna buy a copy.
Cool.
Then I'll give it a read, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. I have a feeling it's gonna be good though, because the description definitely has me intrigued.
It's I would say specifically what my dad likes to refer to it as, because he's read it so many times, but I think it would end up giving a little bit of away. And if you're going to read it anyway, I'd rather you just come into it fresh.
Yeah, I don't want anything getting spoiled or ruined for me, because this does sound interesting, and I'm genuinely interested.
The world is ridiculously massive, and I keep adding to it. Like, I recently, I currently have 3 books planned for before I do the epic. There will probably be a couple more added in between that, just to like get a better look at a bunch of different facets of life and stuff like that, and introduce more of the players who might not be like directly in the story, but like their influence is felt throughout. Like, for instance, I have a blacksmith who isn't even in the like major series, but they are like a huge influence on technology and the way that people see certain pieces of technology. There's also some really, really fucked up shit. Like, this is an adult fantasy book. All of them are.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't want to read like Mr. Bop or whatever those. You remember those? I hate to break off topic here real quick. Do you remember like those Mr. and Mrs. books from like back in the like elementary from the library? Like Mr. Flump or whatever.
I don't
like
think
the
so.
little white book.
You have to tell me what it's about, like what it includes, because I might have like an equivalent, but I don't recognize what you're talking about.
I don't remember like how the stories went, but I remember it was Mr. or Mrs. something, and it was like something like Flumpty or something ridiculous like that, and it was like a weird looking character like 90% of the time. Let me look it up and see if I can remember it.
Oh, that's Hadvar. Oh, Torture's down. I'm surprised he followed us in here.
The Mr. Men and Little Miss books.
I don't know that.
These were a huge part of my childhood. Like Little Miss Busy.
And what was your concern with that in relation to my book?
I was just saying, like, I don't want something like a kid's book. Like, if I want to read, I want, like, detail and, like, adult stuff.
The very first chapter should be available to read for free on Amazon. Or maybe it's the first 3 chapters? You should be able to read some of it right now.
Let me look on it real quick. Amazon book review special offer. Related short videos. Custom reviews. It's not showing me an option. Where would that be at? Since I'm on the app at the moment.
I don't know where that's available. I've never actually like gone to check it, but I know I specifically like opted for, like, I checked a little box that said people can read an excerpt from it that is like so many chapters. It was either 1 or 3.
Let me look on the website. See if I can read the first 2 chapters. I'll give those a read, then I'll let you know.
Yeah, it establishes itself as a very not child's book immediately.
That's good. Cause I remember a few years back. I'm not too old, if you couldn't tell. So, the one of my favorite books was I think it was called Fallen Angels or something like that. Let me correct that. Yeah, Fallen Angels by Walter Dean Myers. It's a Vietnam book, and it was really good. Like, it had me interested the whole time. And that's what got me into, like, reading. Like, I don't do it too often, but it's something I like to do when I have nothing else to do, or bored of video games, trying to sleep, can't. Like, I still have a few books. One of my favorites, well, another one of my favorites was a Jewish soldier in Hitler's army.
What's the name of the book?
A Jewish soldier in Hitler's army.
Oh no, sorry. I mean, like that was the name of the book, A Jewish Soldier. Yeah, soldier.
I'm talking about 2 different books, Fallen Angels and Stone, and then the Jewish soldier in Hitler's army. And the Jewish soldier, that was based on a real person, like that was his like diary and shit.
Cool.
And it actually ended somewhat well. Like, I wasn't expecting a happy ending, because usually in war books there's no happy ending. Right,
Might as well do alchemy. I never do alchemy.
I don't ever do alchemy in Skyrim. Like, not once do I even consider it.
I mean, you could break the game if you want with alchemy.
Like, really OP potions.
You can break it so that way, when you go back and forth between enchanting and potions, you end up, like, creating potions that increase your restoration by, like, 5 billion points. And then, for some reason, while drinking those potions, you are actually capable of crafting better potions, and then you can craft a potion that increases your smithing and your enchanting by, like, 5 million points. And then craft weaponry that does, like, hundreds of thousands of damage.
That's pretty ridiculous.
I don't think I'm going to break the game for this playthrough. I want to do this vanilla without exploits. Maybe I'll pickpocket, though. Pickpocketing exploits not too bad. Willow, can you leave your sister alone? How does what?
How does one exploit, like... How does one exploit pickpocketing? Like, I'm curious.
You drop a quick save, and then pickpocket somebody, and if you fail, you go back and you load the quick save. Because there's always a chance of pickpocketing something. So you... Well, there's not always a chance, but there's usually a fairly decent chance. So you just make it so that way you can never be caught. And then you max it out, and basically everything's free.
Well, shit, I haven't been exploiting since day 1, then. Fuck. I always do that. I always, like, save scum. I usually do that for the PhD missions too. Like whenever I, like if I mess up, like putting something in someone's pocket or nabbing something, I just
Yeah.
reload.
Willow, why couldn't you just leave your sister alone to sleep? I really
Yeah,
how much of a use for
showing
looting these guys.
the website or the app to read the first 3 chapters.
I could see where it's at. I know that it works though because I had some guy that was like, "Yeah, I read them on the website, but I'll go ahead and get the physical copy." Let me just check it real quick. Let me go to my bookshelf. Hang on. I should just go to regular Amazon. If I search for me, there it is. It actually popped up first thing. Cool. Where's the option? Oh yeah, one of my friends thought it was hilarious because you could buy a used copy for more than it was, which there are no used copies available, which was really weird.
Yeah, it says new and used.
But there are no used copies of the book.
Yeah, it's just
So
new ones.
they'd be sending you a brand new book and telling you it's used and making you pay more money for it.
Yeah, because for normal Amazon one, it's $10 and free shipping on eligible orders. Then the one's $10.70 plus 4 shipping, $14.70 free shipping, $10.92 for shipping.
Yeah, which is dumb because there's literally only the unused available because no physical version of this has been purchased yet.
Oh, I see. I found a website where we can read the first 2 chapters.
You mean you found a website?
It's called Booksy.com.
Oh yeah. Do I only have the first 2 chapters on there? I thought I had more than that.
Let's just show me the first 2.
I don't know if that's 100% updated. I'm pretty sure the first chapter is. I don't know about the second one when I had uploaded that one. I got a little bit sick of using that website.
It says status in progress though.
Yeah, just the overall book.
Uh,
For that specifically, because I didn't upload it all. You have to have it set to in progress if you want to add more to it.
July 14th, 2019. I like the description of it. Like, you know how to use, like, descriptive. And I just read, like, the first little bit of it.
I felt like the description was like a really generic fantasy book description.
Well, I like generic shit a good bit, so it happens.
It is high fantasy, but there are no, like, elves, orcs, dwarves type crap. Dragons do exist. That's not, like, a secret or anything like that. I don't have them as, like, normal dragons like you would see in pretty much anything else. I tried to avoid tropes as much as possible.
So how are the dragons different from, like, other dragons? Or is that something you don't want to spoil?
Well, they're not Game of Thrones dragons because they're actual dragons, not wyverns called dragons. They've got 4 legs and 2 wings. There are a couple variants in the way that dragons can be approached. For the most part, they take human form or a semi-human form. They have some physical characteristics that always kind of are present. It's not really a spoiler, it's just information that isn't actually explicitly given out yet. There is, the Great Wood is mentioned at one point. It's not one word, it's 2 words, both capitalized. The Great Wood is a large portion of just untamed forest, and a large portion of dragons who take human form live there, and outsiders aren't welcome like at all. And then there's a tropical sort of area in the far north of the continent that has really friendly dragon people who take human form. They're immortal. They can't die unless they're like physically killed. And they typically have pointed ears and wings still.
I'm very intrigued about this. I'm hoping I can get a copy.
It's just for reasons with the way that their shapeshifting works. There's a lot more lore behind them that will end up being explained in later books too.
When do you think the next one's going to be published?
Sometime next year. It depends on how quickly I can get through it and how natural it feels. The main character of the second book is actually present in that story. And then the third book that I have planned is actually not related to the other two books at all. It just happens to be a really horrendous backstory for another character.
I'm getting pretty tired here, boss man. I think I'm gonna read these 2 chapters and hit the hay.
Okay. Oh, you mean like leave the party, go read them, and then hit the hay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll let you know how they are when I wake up tomorrow, or I'll send you a message before I go to bed.
All right, yeah, let me know what you think.
All right.
I haven't had anybody that's
Thanks,
read it and been like, this is kind of dumb yet. They've all been at least decent reviews.
Well, I'll probably send you a message if I don't pass out after I read them.
All right, thanks.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. Yeah, I've recently become a little bit more guarded with information regarding specific things about my stories, because as they are actually coming out, becoming a real thing, there's less that I want to be just telling people about in general and more that I'd rather have them reading. And unfortunately, I would like everybody to have all of the information regardless of whether or not they decide that they're going to pony up cash for the books, but the issue with that is that then I don't get paid for them, and that's the goal, is to make money off of them enough that I don't have to work aside from doing that, because then I can create even more of it, which is good for everybody. So unfortunately, I have to keep information strictly off the basis of needing to save it for later. First couple episodes are probably going to be a little bit boring on this. Obviously, I was just kind of like going through while talking to him. I'm kind of on autopilot mode here, just collecting up. I don't know why I grabbed a torch and a dagger, but whatever. I'm just getting to a point where I can actually start branching off and doing some other stuff. I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to do an ADHD run, which is basically I always just follow whichever quest is at the top of my HUD, but no matter what I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and rush through real quick to the point where I can start spawning dragons in the world, because I've had a lot of playthroughs where I've gone the majority of the time without being able to have them, and not like having shouts and being able to learn the ones that I find around the world by using Dragon Souls gets a little bit annoying, so I just went ahead and I want to go ahead and make sure that I get that done right away. I feel like you guys are shit at detecting. Didn't dodge that one very well. but I don't have that reach. Cole's listening to music in the kitchen while doing dishes. Let me just take some of your crap real quick. I don't know why I grabbed that iron dagger before, or the torch, but I suppose we got it. Also, I'm surprised that he managed to find that on Booksy. That was really well done on his part, actually being able to find information on the internet that he's looking for, because half the time I try to look up myself for like YouTube or this, and I can't find it. It's interesting though that I can search my author name and it actually is the first thing that pops up, so that's really decent. Okay, apparently I didn't hit him the first time. Hey, Cookie. I think I just sold a copy of my book. Probably can't hear me yet. Probably like connecting. Should see if there's some good other types of magic that I can use. I have never like delved into magic. Like I've used it a little bit, and I did a spell sword at one point, but I was literally just using the sword for the most part, and then kind of like casting magic alongside it. It'd be interesting to do just magic.
There we go.
Hey, Cookie. I think I sold a copy of my book.
Okay. Huh? Oh, nice.
Had the person that I was playing Dead by Daylight with. I think they're going to have their grandmother buy it for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that you were playing Dead by Daylight, but I was just like, I don't want to play Dead by Daylight.
It went decent for a while,
Like-
and then we started getting screwed. And we thought that we were like being DDoSed by a hag that had rage quit. Apparently, the Xbox like all servers are having issues right now. Like I can't log into any game,
Yeah,
so I
servers-
figured I'll just play Skyrim.
Yeah. Yeah, servers are messed up right now. So, Ben,
What is it? Snake fish.
Ben, they changed Dying Light.
Did they?
They changed it, and it's okay. It's better for the survivors half in a way.
Okay.
Like, it prevents the camping of a fucking killer standing on a hook. Okay, like, cause you hated that, right? When you have Dying Light, and the killer just stands there watching you, wanting you to die.
Yeah.
It's now the opposite. You don't want to kill your obsession.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to kill them now.
So having the
Instead,
obsession alive.
that keeps it on, which makes it where it does this, where if for every time you hook someone, 6% is for every time you try to when you hook someone. 6% is stacked. 6%, 12%, 18, 24, and it keeps going up, up, and up.
Okay.
Until it becomes ridiculously high to the point where it's impossible to do fucking anything. But after each time someone gets hooked. So like if you want to maximize it, it's like 8. But it slows down the game a lot.
Well, it wouldn't be 8 to maximize it. You could maximize it by doing the 8 normally, but then kill the 3 people that aren't your obsession. So you could get 11 stacks on it.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, but like, that's not counting you not killing your obsession. Like, it's weird because like, if they bleed out, that just destroys it. It just ends Dying Light.
If anybody bleeds out, or your
it's-
obsession?
If the obsession dies completely, you lose it.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I think you also still get the boost for healing faster and stuff, so... Yeah.
So the obsession permanently has a boost, and then rather than when the obsession dies, it's just whenever you hook somebody?
Yeah. It's
That
everyone gets a negative debuff on
That would
everything
be
they do.
a decent perk
better.
to use alongside other, like, multiple hook perks.
Well, okay, what True Talent, Dying Light, Ruin, Pop Goes the Weasel, and Barbecue Joe.
Pop is so nice.
Yeah, pop is really nice now.
Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people call soda up here, by the way.
Pop?
Yeah, apparently it's a Midwestern
that's
thing to say
common.
pop. I don't say pop. I've always said soda, but apparently we do it.
Hmm.
Somebody forgot to tell me growing up.
Oh.
Lily's also pissed.
Wait. Then,
I almost just killed myself. What's up?
I was gonna ask if you want to play something together.
Servers are down for shit.
I mean, like, I'm like looking like maybe on Mellow, like, you know, seeking divinity or something like that. Because I'm too scared to actually switch to my hotspot now.
Oh yeah, you won't need a hotspot either.
Mm-hmm.
I think anything that has to connect to a server isn't working.
Well, basically what I say is just logging in. Like, logging files is what's being laggy right now, Ben. Ben?
Yeah.
It's just for stuff that's being, like, where you're just signing into your account. Nothing else is being touched right now, based on what I'm looking at the server thing right now.
I couldn't even connect to Minecraft. Like, I can't play my Minecraft.
Well, I can't add the update anyways. Wait, are you talking about for the server itself?
But, like, signing into anything is not working. So I'm just playing a game on disc right now.
But I'm playing on Mellow without. I'm playing on Mellow right now, so I'm not affected by it.
Can you play
I'm
multiplayer?
still
though?
affected by some. I don't know.
I mean, I'd be willing to come play some
Someone else to
Armello with
join
you.
me.
I still have some achievements I have to get.
Same. I just want to get some achievements in this.
Some of them are so much of a pain in the ass. Like, they're legit achievements.
Yep.
Some of those piss me off. Like, I hate achievements that are based off of feats. Like, accomplish this nearly impossible task. I'm like, for fuck's sake, dude.
Like, in one turn, kill a hero you have a allies pact with, and take one of their settlements.
I think I've completed that one. I don't remember that one being on the list of shit that I had to do. I just have like the go an entire game as like one of the rat people without ever being found in a forest or anything like that. Like never be found at night and crap.
Mm-hmm. I might just do that, dude. I want to try to do that.
It's been a while since I played Armello. I also just downloaded Dark Souls, so I want to see about...
Wait. That's all?
Yeah, I just downloaded Dark Souls.
You can play it with me! Yay! Dragon doesn't want to play with me anymore in that game!
Oh, Dark Souls?
I don't want to play it.
Wait, is the first one
I
co-op?
want to play it. Yes!
Oh, sweet, let's play it. Do you have it installed?
Yeah, I have it installed. It's ready. I can just jump into it right now.
Alright. Let me drop a save real quick and then I can play it with you.
Did you pass the tutorial first? Because I can't join you until the tutorial's finished.
No, I don't think I've passed the tutorial. I
I
remember the very first time I played, I could not beat the Asylum Demon.
Well, first of all, you're supposed to kill the Asylum Demon. I mean, you get a reward if you can kill him on the first try like that. But it's recommended not to.
The issue was I didn't realize, like, the very first time that I played that dodging was invincibility frames. Because I think that's a dumb fucking mechanic. I did play through it again, though, like a little bit, and I think I got to the point where I could kill the skeletons. Alright, I'll come play it with you.